Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of No Holds Barred, our little sort of fort series as we complete each of our journeys here on the channel. And this time we have something truly special. We have just, as you can see there, finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, I should preface this before we begin that I never played the original Final Fantasy. I know a few bits and pieces through the gaming osmosis, as I like to call it, so I know who at least a handful of the characters are. I know Sephiroth is a bad guy. I know Cloud is the hero who wields a big sword. I know about Aerith to some degree. Well, I knew about Aerith. I know a lot more about her now. I was sort of vaguely aware that Hojo is a creep, and yeah, that's definitely confirmed in this game, and other bits and pieces. So yeah, I don't know much about the main story, though a big shout out to Staroxis, who's following the channel and has been a godsend throughout most of the chats, actually going over a lot of the bits and pieces that I didn't know from the lore of the original Final Fantasy VII. That said, what do I think about the remake? Well, first up, this is probably quite easily one of my favourite games of the year. It's just, I have absolutely fallen in love with this game to the nth degree. It is amazing. From the graphics are stunning. They have done such a beautiful job on the graphics. From the moment I started the game up with the with the train rolling into the Mako reactor, it bowled me over the graphics, and throughout the entire thing I have had to stop at moments and just admire the beauty of everything. Characters, I absolutely love the characters. Cloud took a bit of time for me to warm up to. I'm not really a big fan of the edgelord sort of aesthetic, but as the game's gone on, I've warmed up to him quite a lot. Tifa, I've pretty much fallen for immediately. Aerith, pretty much fallen for immediately. Barrett has got to be the best character in this game, probably in the last few games I've played. I love Barrett. He is amazing. He is an absolute hoot, and he has just made this an absolute joy, especially with his back and forth with Cloud throughout. They've all made it a joy. Even Red 13, who came into the game quite well, would it be a spoiler? Probably, but well, he's on the wallpaper. But yeah, as you progress, each new character comes in, and they've been fantastic, and the voices are fantastic, and the character designs are fantastic, and I love playing as all of them. There wasn't a single character here in the roster where I thought, oh, I hate playing as them, because there isn't. It's just, I'm trying to find another way to say it. They're fantastic. We'll leave it at that. It'll save me rambling for hours. They're fantastic. Soundtrack, as always. Yeah, no, soundtrack. Nearly every stream that I've played this game, I have said I love this soundtrack, and that's no lie. It is one of the best soundtracks I've heard in any game for a long time. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 had a pretty good soundtrack, but then this one has come in and completely bowled it out of the water. It's amazing, and I actually got the digital deluxe version of this game, which came with a soundtrack, so you can guarantee that I'm putting that onto my phone as soon as I get the chance. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I loved every piece of music that came on. I've loved every collectible record you can find inside the game. It's just, it's fantastic. If I had to sum up this entire game in one word, it's fantastic. It's just, I can't say it enough. This is a beautifully crafted game. It's brilliant. Soundtrack's awesome. The gameplay, however, it's not a perfect game by any stretch, and if I had to knock it down on a point system, here it's some of the gameplay where I would knock it down. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's playable. Mechanically, it works brilliantly, and there was no point where I thought, oh, I hate this game doesn't control well. There are bits that I got infuriated by. For one example, the camera sort of has a mind of its own sometimes. You're walking around, it's not too bad, but when you're in combat, when it's fast operate, when you're trying to move around the arena quickly to dodge attacks, then the camera can be a ball ache, because it ends up just pointing in the wrong direction, so you can't see what you're attacking or what's attacking you, and then you try and spin it around. Or, for some insane reason, I don't understand why. Somebody might know better than me, but when you lock onto a target, to lock on, you click the right analog stick. You then use the right analog stick to switch between your targets. which, in terms of quick switching, yes, is good, but at the same time, when you're running around, what I'd prefer is like Kingdom Hearts did, where you can switch targets with the shoulder buttons, and then the analog stick can be used to control the camera. Instead, you have a choice of locking onto a target and the camera automatically follows the target, which is okay so long as you're fighting one big enemy, not smaller ones, or you have a free roaming camera that doesn't want to behave itself, which just got really annoying sometimes. Dodge rolling also, maybe I'm really bad at the timing, but dodge rolling didn't seem to be very effective. Sometimes it worked, but a lot of the times you still get caught on the edge of the hitbox for an enemy attack. But that's okay, because you've got a block, so I found myself blocking more than I did with the dodge roll. But these are minor nitpicks, I think. Another minor nitpick is when you're attacking someone, sometimes if your character very much fires in the direction they're pointing. It would have been nice if there was a sort of soft lock when I cast a spell and the spell actually sort of swung round and hit the opponent. I didn't have to be facing them bang on, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So sometimes I did launch a fireball straight into the ether for no apparent reason. But other than that, yeah, as for the story's a tricky one for me to talk about because I want to keep this as spoiler light as humanly possible. So, how to go about discussing this? Well, it's its own entity. Yes, there are a lot of... It's sort of... same software in a different case. Or a computer, I suppose. But basically, the core of the story appears to be the same, as far as I can tell. But they've definitely fleshed... Well, this was originally, about a 4-hour section of the original Final Fantasy VII, and they fleshed it out to about 40 hours. So they've added a lot more. They've added a lot more world building. They've added a lot more depth to the characters, which I absolutely love. I'm not kidding when I say I love these characters. They're absolutely brilliant, and they're fantastic, they're gorgeous, and they really... If you have been following this Let's Play, you will know that these characters have broken my heart quite viciously. So yeah, I'll keep it light on the story spoilers, but you're not going to be disappointed. Confused? Yes. Even me, with my limited knowledge of Final Fantasy VII and all the things surrounding it, I am confused because they've definitely taken threads from the original Final Fantasy in places, and then they've tweaked them, and then they've put them in the game, and I think they're expecting you to go, oh yes, I know what I get that reference, and then people like me sit there and go, who's that? I know the name's familiar, but I don't really know what's going on. So yeah, hopefully in the later games they'll sort of flesh out those bits and pieces for newcomers like me, so we're able to actually get a grasp of who they are and what their importance is to the story. I know one character in particular is very important, but I don't know much more about him other than that in terms of the context of the game. He sort of just appeared and then he didn't appear, then he disappeared, and that was it. Actually, there were a couple of characters who did that. Few characters who did that. But anyway, I am rambling on now, so yeah, I don't give scores on these games, but if you get the chance to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you haven't played it already, give it a try. Just give it a shot if you can. I think there's still a demo available for it. I could be wrong though, I've not actually checked. But if there is, then give it a shot. And longevity of the game. Well, supposed to be a 40-hour game. For me, tried to do a 100% run, we're going to finish what I can of the 100% run of it. It's not a completionist run. There will be achievements left over by the end of this Let's Play that I've missed out, but I'm going to do all the normal achievements. Everything I can do outside of the hard mode achievements, because, to be honest, I'm not doing another this clocked in for me at about 55 hours of playtime, so I'm not going to do another 55 hours of playtime for all the hard mode stuff. But yeah, you will have plenty of content in this game. You will have more than enough to do if you want to do a completionist run or a 100% run. So yeah, money well spent as far as I'm concerned. I am in love with this game, and you can bet that the moment that Part 2 comes out, it will be on this channel. I will be playing it, because Final Fantasy, You have a new fan in me. And I couldn't be happier. Anyway, I better sign off. I've been rambling on long enough. So, if you're new here, well, hi, I'm Ezio. It's a pleasure to meet you. If you enjoy what you saw, well, I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. But the decision will always be yours. If you ever want to catch me playing live, well, I stream on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/GuardEzio every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The timing should be somewhere on the channel. Stop by, say hi if you can. And with that, I shall depart from these places and head into the achievement hunting of this game. So, to each and every one of you, thank you for stopping by. And until our paths next cross again, the vortex awaits. And I'll see you all next time.